Hi there, my name is Olutoyin Williams. I am founder of the People Impact Company. In this video, I would like to address an issue that most SME owners have, which is how do they retain their employees? Many SME owners find it a challenge to retain employees. It happens that after you hire somebody, they work with you for a year or 2, 3, and then they say they want to leave. And many times when they are leaving out of anger. The challenge is there very clear. The challenge is therefore, how do you ensure that when you bring in people into your business, you retain them for the long term? As an HR professional of over 14 years, I can tell you that employee retention isn't something that people do easily. There are quite a number of factors that are involved, but does that mean that you, as a small business owner, cannot retain your employees? Of course not. So let me tell you a few things that I think you might be able to apply. 1, I need you to clarify the career path for every employee that comes into your organization. What do I mean by that? When someone comes in as a customer service person, the question is, how long do you expect the person to still remain as a customer service officer? A year, 2 years, 3 years? Have you spoken to the individual to find out what it is they might be interested in doing? Many a time, when you find a good employee and you hire them into your business, of course, as the business owner, you're so excited that you found someone. It might be a challenge for you to move that person around, but you're doing yourself a great disservice if you do this. Find the opportunity to move individuals around in your business, giving them an opportunity to learn something they might not have known before. What would this do for the employees? It would tell them that you are interested in their growth. So let me recap what I have just said. Define a clear career path. When you bring in someone into your business, try and understand what exactly is it the person might be interested in doing apart from what they've come in originally to do. Once you're able to identify 1 or 2 things that they might be able to do within your business, give them an opportunity to do it. And you would find that such individuals will be more inclined to stay. 2, reward performance. How often do you do performance evaluation in your organization? The norm is that you should do performance evaluation at least twice a year. The reason why you should do performance evaluation is because you need to be able to ascertain if your people are performing at every point in time. So let me take it back a bit. For you to be able to do performance evaluation, you must have job descriptions. Do you have job descriptions for every employee in your business? If you do not have job descriptions for every employee in your business, your first task would be to draft out job descriptions for every employee in your business. Once you've been able to establish job descriptions for every employee in your business, the next thing to do is to draw out what KPIs you would use to measure them. What do I mean by KPIs? KPIs is simply an acronym for Key Performance Indicators, meaning what are the specific things that you're going to use to track people to ensure that they are on top of their task and they are actually performing. So, let me give you an example. If you hire someone into your organization and the person is hired as a salesperson, of course, the obvious KPI is the target of number of sales that they bring in per month. However, if you are a new business, you might not necessarily want to focus only on the average number of sales they bring in. You might also want to look at them building your database and drawing up a KPI around prospects as well. These are examples of KPIs that you can draw up for a salesperson. So, it is expected that for every employee in your organization, you should have 2 basic documents. 1 is a job description. The 2 is a KPI. The KPIs, like I said earlier, are key performance indicators that would let you know if this person is actually doing their job or not. Now that you have those 2 documents, what is the next step? It is expected that you should conduct appraisals for your staff. What are appraisals? Appraisals are performance meetings where you sit down to discuss with your employee what has gone on in the course of a year. The norm in HR parlance is to have an appraisal done twice a year. However, if you're a smaller team and you can manage it, you should look at giving your people feedback on their performance at least every month. What does that do? What that does for you is that it allows you to be able to respond to people in real time. So for example, if you put me in charge of a project and I didn't handle the project well, and you're trying to review my performance 6 months after that occasion has happened, chances are you would have forgotten what I did, I would have forgotten what I did, and the two of us will end up confusing each other. So in order for that not to happen, you should have an arrangement where you give your people feedback at least on a monthly basis. Now that you give feedback on a monthly basis, you should try and sit down twice a year to have biannual appraisals with your people. What would these sessions do? These sessions will enable you to track who is doing well, who needs more support, and who probably needs to be put on a performance improvement plan. So, let me recap what I have just said. In order for you to be able to retain your staff, you must have a performance appraisal system. A performance appraisal system will allow you to clearly identify who is doing well, who needs more support, and who needs to be put on a PIP, which is a performance improvement plan. The third factor that you need to do in order to be able to retain your staff is to get them involved more in your business. Many times, small businesses feel, I've hired you, just do exactly what you are told. And then the staff feel like their views are not sought, their values, and then the staff feel that their views are not sought and their contributions are not valued. That should never be the case with you in your organization. Try to ensure that when you make decisions or there are issues in your business, have a regular staff meeting where you discuss these issues. When you discuss these issues as regular staff meetings, what that would mean would be that all employees within your business will be forced to contribute. They should give you their own ideas of how you can solve problems within your business. And when they do give you those ideas, I need you as the business owner not to start trying to knock down their idea or show how their idea is impractical, but rather thank them for their contribution and see ways that you can implement the idea if the idea actually makes sense. What do you think? Would you be able to apply that? I certainly hope so. So what have we been talking about so far? We've talked about ways in which you can retain your employees. First, we have said that you should look at mapping out a clear career path for them. Secondly, we have said you should look at having regular performance appraisals. And thirdly, you should involve them in conversations that has to do with the company and solving issues that might arise in the company. The fourth thing that I would like to share with you is how you can, on a regular basis, have conversations around rewards. I know you're probably thinking, why should I reward them? But you should. Why? Because if you think about it, how would you feel if you were in the position where you were working so hard and there was no reward for all that hard work? You definitely will feel discouraged. The same thing happens with your employees. They would feel discouraged when they are not rewarded or recognized for all of the effort that they are putting in your business. So you might be thinking, Toyin, do you mean that I have to reward them by increasing their salaries every year? Well, the answer is going to be driven by how profitable your business has been. I do not know your numbers, so I cannot advise you to increase their salaries every year. But the truth about it is this: you live in the same country as they do, don't you? More likely, you and I know that the cost of living has gone up. So in a situation whereby the cost of living has gone up, do you think you might be interested in doing a bit of an adjustment in your salaries to take into consideration that inflation has risen? If you are interested in doing that, why don't you lead from the position of your books, such that you can tell how much profit you have made and how much you are able to give away by way of increase of salaries? But that's not even the point I'm making. The point that I am making is that when it comes to reward is a much, much broader conversation. So many factors translate to mean reward. Only a part of it is salaries. Reward could also mean you recognizing people for improvement, recognizing them for the contribution that they bring to your organization. You can have several initiatives that will show your staff that you actually value them and you reward them and you want them to be much more engaged in your organization. If you are able to follow these 4 points, I am sure you would be able to retain your staff. So let me recap again what those 4 points are. The first one is to determine a clear career path for every role in your organization. The second one is to have regular performance appraisals, to manage their appraisals over a period and see who is doing well and who needs more support. The third point is for you to engage them and involve them in decision making in the organization. The fourth point would be for you to reward and recognize their contributions. If you can follow these 4 points, I am sure you would see an improvement in your retention of your employees. Till I come your way again next time, this is Olutoyin Williams from the People Impact Company.